Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Artist and Thinker podcast. I am Elle Sweets,
And I am Terrence Speed Thinker.
and we come to you today to discuss a very, very household name, at least in our community, and that would be Mr. Jay-Z. And if
Hmm.
you don't know, he has recently signed on to do somewhat of a deal with Target. And currently, we have been boycotting Target because of them deciding to drop, oh my lord, I can't get it up. Not affirmative action, but to drop,
Yeah,
yes, DI hires, and they let a lot of people of color, especially in the Black community, they took all their stuff off their shelves. So why should we be spending money there? Because they're basically saying they don't really care. They only did it just to put more money in their pockets. And when they felt like they didn't need us that way, they got rid of us, but they still want our dollar. Anyways, go ahead, Terrence. You lead the way on your thoughts about Jay-Z deciding to go that route.
all I'm gonna do is say about this is that Dame Dash was right. As much as y'all may look at him now and talk and joke about him and clown about him, Dame was right. He was right. But I'm gonna tell you where he messed up a little later on down the road, and what he's doing in the present, and why that's working against him. It's not really helping him. But what Dame Dash, for y'all that don't know, give y'all a little history lesson. Rockefeller Records was an independent record label to begin with. And it was ran by three people: Dame Dash, Biggs, and Jay. Jay was a business owner and an artist, and he said multiple times that, like, hey, I just wanted to be an artist, but I was forced into this position where I also had to know the business and be an artist. Which, when we first came out, we had to do our independent thing with doing with Reasonable Doubt. We did that independently. And so when we started selling those units, we could come and negotiate our deal with major labels. And that's how they ended up with Def Jam. So Dame Dash was CEO. And the CEO of the company, the organization, because Dame Dash was not afraid to go up against anybody. And starting out, you need that energy. You need somebody that's going to be in your corner and not be afraid to go up against anybody. You need it. It's bottom line. You will always need that. And so Biggs is the silent partner that handled all the stuff in the background that people don't see go on with labels. You never really saw him. He was in a couple of pictures and the magazine covers, but he wasn't really out in the open like Dame was. He was in the background. You need a person like that too. And so both of these individuals, Biggs and Dame, made it possible for Jay-Z to make the moves that he made. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, as y'all know, Rockefeller had a crazy run. They were like the top label, um, top record label and clothing line, Rockaware, one of the top urban clothing lines, and they were running like multiple artists. Like they had Cameron, Beanie Siegel, Young Guns, Kanye West. All the artists that are popular today started, most of them started at Rockefeller. Noriega had a stint in Rockefeller. Now he's doing Japan. Kanye West started out on Rockefeller. Now he's doing what he's doing. Like he's stepped from fashion.
And I'm glad you said something about Kanye, but I put it in my pocket. Go ahead.
Yeah, and like, you have all these artists, Beanie Siegel. He Memphis Bleak. Um these are all the artists that started out. And the fall of how the dynasty fell is that basically Jay-Z wanted to start making moves on his own and being his own man as a person that can run a business, that can run a record label, that can run uh, a label by himself. Doesn't need help because everybody was looking at him like, well, Dame does most of the muscle and Biggs handles the stuff in the background. So you're pretty much the artist. It's like, yes, I'm the artist, but I'm also the business. I'm one of the main people over the record label. I'm not just the artist.
Mhm.
And so he wanted to change himself, you know, to be a better, like wanted to. I understand what he was trying to do. But in the same breath, you're trying to do that and you're still in the position of an artist and you're not talking to your other partners about your plans, and then you're over here having secret meetings about what you're doing and not telling anybody, that's where the issues start to come. Because now you got Dame Dash busting up in the meetings that you set up, but you weren't there. And he was like, well, why wasn't I called in on this? You called everybody for this meeting except us. And there's video out on YouTube where y'all can follow this. There's videos out on YouTube where you can follow what was going on. And Dame Dash was in there like, now let's have the meeting because we're here now. It's like y'all trying to take away my artist and do stuff without talking to me. And that's not how it works. But I'm like, yo, dang, you forget he's also part owner of this business as well. He's
Yeah.
not just the artist.
So what we can say is Dame and Jay's situation is the beginning of the pattern, because not
Yep.
so much about the focus of their interactions, but you can see a pattern begin.
And it's the most important because that was the first
Yeah,
one.
that we know of, I would say. Because now we can look at, because we can even talk about his situation with R. Kelly. Now, you know how I feel about R. Kelly, keep him where he at, right?
Mm.
And you can even look at his relationship with Diddy. Jay screams a person who I will stab you in your back if it means I get to thrive. And it's just interesting that I think a lot of artists, they get to a certain status, and you got to think Jay-Z has been able to rub elbows with some of the big elites. He has been able to. And
Yep.
he has no problem walking over people who he came in the game with. And I know one statement, I've heard it before, but if nothing had happened to Biggie or Tupac, he would not exist to the magnitude that he was able to get to. But I think when we look at what he did with Kaepernick, is you basically walked over him. Like
Yeah.
not that many.
And you specifically speaking about that. This is where I knew, well, I always knew because there's so many stories, but when he got to this position, he could have changed the narrative of what was going on. And like, because this is what he said. This is what Jay said in the meeting with the NFL representative and everything. He says, so you know the issue? Do you know the issue? Do you know the issue? Do y'all know the issue? Hey, we all know the issue. So let's move on from this. Versus saying, like, we all know that there is an issue and we acknowledge there is an issue. Now let's move on. And I'm like, it's a difference between knowing the issue and doing something about the issue versus saying something like this. We all know the issue, right? Okay, so what are we going to do about this so we can move forward with this business?
Mhm.
What are we going to do to fix this situation or acknowledge it at least?
'Cause he
What are we going to do?
he is at a
There's so many opportunities to make different choices.
he has power to change a lot of things given the status that he is at now. But he seems to turn the other cheek. And like I said, when it comes to him and Kanye, now we know Kanye got his own troubles, but how Kanye has said numerous amounts of time, especially when he's medicated correctly, about how he turned his back on him. He turned his back on him. We look at and like with the whole NFL thing, it just shows that Jay-Z is for Jay-Z. He is for Jay-Z and he's for Beyonce. At least we think he is. But he is for himself. And he's making that character known. That's why I said, to our knowledge, it first started with Dame. It started with Dame.
Dame and Biggs.
Mhm.
Dame and Big.
Yeah, it started with them, and then it continued. Remember I sent you something about the chick. God, what was her name? She was a part of their group. She rapped. I can't think of her.
Million. Million.
That's her name?
Yeah, Million.
Okay. So with her, they tried, and I think Dame has some parts in it because the way he told the story, one time he told it different another time, making it seem like, no, she had her kids and she had a kid and she was just all over the place. But she made it clear. And then there's some parts where Dame said Jay-Z took her on and then just left her there, like kind of left her out of things. And next, she was no more. And even
Yeah.
listen to her story. One of her stories said it was too much for her, and then one was like, no, she just rather to go to the limelight. And I'm recording here, and you know, go off and just leave the whole rap thing alone. But I guarantee there's probably some of the same melodies that pattern still somewhere in there. So
And like,
you think sorry. Go ahead.
and what people don't understand about Dame and Biggs is that they have a justification because when it came to renegotiations for Rockefeller Records at the time, Jay-Z had a private meeting with saying, hey, I will we got a couple of choices here. One, I want Rockefeller and I want to run it by myself. Dame Dash saying, how can you do that when we have us? It's like, okay, I'll give y'all Rockefeller, just give me the rights to all the rights to reasonable doubt. And he was like, no, we created that together. Me, Biggs, and you. We created that together. So it's part of it's ours, a part of it's Biggs, and a part of it is yours. And so the share, as far as shares go, and so Jay-Z, what I don't want to be a part of it anymore. And basically dismantled Rockefeller while it was still active and had artists on his catalog. Another thing he did is that, and Dame said, you remember how Dame had his own liquor company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every time Dame would do something, Jay-Z would do something of his own in the same exact stance that what he did. Dame had a liquor and he was like, yo, just hold up the liquor because that gives promotion for us. And this is not just for me, this is for all of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? For the rock. You know what I'm saying? He says no and does a solo deal with Remy Martin or Remy or some kind of alcohol company.
Yeah, I mean,
And he was like, but we already had one. Dame is like, we already had one.
so I think
Then they had a deal where they was trying to sell Rockaware to Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger was gonna buy the company
Mhm.
from Damon, Biggs, and Jay.
Mhm.
But Jay says, I no longer am a part of Roc-A-Fella Records, went public. Said I'm no longer a part of Rockaware. And so when he stepped away from it, so did Tommy Hilfiger. And so Dame was like, okay, I'm gonna step away from Rockaware and share and sell my shares. As soon as he sold his shares, that's when Jay-Z came back into the fold for Rockaware.
Yeah, I think Jay-Z
Doing stuff like that. You get what I'm saying?
his
Doing things like that.
his vendetta with Dame is deeper than I think some of us imagine. It is about Aaliyah. It is no getting.
Always crushing relationships with men.
So I think that's what really
picked him over because both of them had they slept with her, but she chose to be with Dame over Jay.
So I think one of the things is he but what he has managed to do for a long time, because you remember everybody used to be looking at Dame like, bro, let it go, right? I mean, now when you look at some of the plays that Jay-Z has made in these recent years, it shows, like you said, your first statement, Dame was right. But, Dame has to go a different approach. I mean, that's a whole different.
In the video.
Yeah.
Dancing in the background. It was more like Puppy to me. He was another Puppy to me.
But
he was in all the videos.
But
I believe that you want to know one of the strange things is
Hmm.
the thing with Dame is this. At this current point, he's looking like a grumpy old man.
Yeah, he giving grumpy old man.
You know what I'm saying? And that keeps doing it. In the beginning, he had a point. Now, I was like, but in order to get at Jay, you have to be in a position where you are gaining power
Mm-hmm.
in your position and you are succeeding. That's the greatest defeat to Jay because he was like, you told me that I couldn't do nothing without you. Look at me. I'm over here.
I think that's
doing films. I'm opening up galleries, which he has done, but in the same breath, he's not getting the acknowledgement for it. All they talk about is his tax problems. And I was like, Dame has to go to the approach of, hey, I get that he done wrong. I'm cut from a different cloth. We don't do each other like that where I'm from, but that's on him. And the question I want to ask Dame is this. Yo, Dame, if Jay-Z told you in the very beginning that like, hey, at some point, we're going to stick together on this, but at some point, I'm going to break off and do some things on my own because I have to establish myself as an artist and as a businessman, and I have to do that by myself. I appreciate what y'all done for me, but I have to do this for myself at some point. I will let y'all know when. If he would have did that, would that change anything you've done from Jay from day one? Just ask him that question. That's a question I always wanted to ask Dane. If he would told you that from Jump Street, what he's doing now, if he would told you that from Jump Street, would that change anything that you did for him? And if no, because that's just who I am as a person, then stop talking about him. Just say next question when somebody brings up Jay.
I mean, he could have took. That's why I said Dame has. There's a lot there. There's a lot to dissect when it comes to the situation with Dame. But let's to pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's bring old Miss Nicki Minaj in the fold. Now, Nicki, she been off a rocker. And that's the funny thing. They end up being off their rocker, so then it's like they don't hold any validity anymore, And that's it's unfortunate. Hear me out, because think about it. Some of Dame's stuff don't hold no weight because he's still fixated on the past. Kanye, they label Kanye crazy because he's bipolar, whatever he's got going on. Then Nicki, Miss Trump loving, coke snorting. So yeah, so they don't hold that value like they used to. But when you think about how she said he has screwed her over, that's the one thing you keep hearing is these people being screwed over. And I'm gonna throw out another name for you. That old raw right. She has been on a mission. She has been telling everybody's business and fabricating ever since that man screwed her over. She ain't been right. Cause all roads lead to Jay-Z. Think about all them videos and all them rants that she done made. Am I not wrong? Am I wrong? It all leads to Jay-Z. So
Oh,
when I say Jay-Z has a list of people he has burned, I mean clearly he has no problem, stomping the Black community, not standing up for us. But personally, that man got vendettas with a lot of people. He's got a lot of them. And I mean, when you think of like how he dropped what was his name? Oh, R. Kelly behind real quick. Like you would think he ain't know him. Remember, they was gonna go on that tour, and then he was like, boom. But I understand why. There's a lot circulating with that one. And then like him and Diddy were cool, but now he say, nah, we weren't that cool. Y'all done took too many pictures together and been places, just bumping elbows and giggling and kikiing for y'all not to have been some kind of friends. Now, I'm not saying that Jay-Z was doing everything that Diddy was doing, but we're not going to act like y'all weren't friends.
Yeah. I'm like, come on. Some stuff, you got actual proof of y'all being present multiple times.
And he's just as bad as Mariah Carey when they asked her about Jennifer Lopez. I don't know who she is.
I'm like, really, nigga? You don't know who she is?
That is just how, but we know why she says that. But
Yeah.
I mean, Jay-Z has managed to get very high up there to not really. I mean, one thing we can say, when he did come out with Tidal, right? What's the name of it?
Yeah, the streaming company.
It came with good intentions. I won't say he had good intentions, but it came with good intentions for artists. But given how the fallout kind of came with it, it does seem like he still had a money grab in it.
Yep. Because the guy that bought the company was a guy that's been trying to get in business with Jay-Z some form or fashion for the longest. So it was an opportunity for other people to do business with you, but in exchange, you did get a payout from it.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much paid him to do business with them. And so Jay, like, I think with Jay-Z, the problem is this. Jay-Z, the way he looks at it, everything, whether it be personal, it's nothing personal, it's business. In his mind, all of this is business.
Yep.
He doesn't see anything wrong with it because it's nothing personal, it's just business. But to the people that expect it, it's anything but just business. It's very personal when you hear it from perspective. And so, Jay-Z knew that in order to get in the position that he is currently in, he had to step away. And his first move was running Def Jam Records, which he signed Rihanna. And he signed Rihanna, but stories behind how she got signed with like forcing to throw her out the 17th floor or something like that, and like throw her out the window if she didn't sign the contract. Matter of fact, she's underage, so she needed a guardian present in order for her to sign that contract that she signed. But nobody's talking about that. And she's even said he threatened to throw me out the window if I didn't sign the contract. And she was like 16 or 17 at the time.
She's laughed. She's playfully said it, but playfully enough to know that the behind it. And another thing, now this might kind of cross the lines of conspiracy theory, but when it comes to Beyonce, I think sometimes, I'm not gonna say he pimps his wife out, but he does use her fame and her power to get in certain doors too. and achieve certain things, because just like he has bumped arms with a lot of people, she has a lot of influence, and it's full mainstream. It's not just in R&B, it's not just in urban music. It's a little bit everywhere, you know? So he has been able to really accomplish a lot of it. And I mean, gosh, Jay-Z's what, like 56 now? He's not 56 now. He's up there.
He up there.
I mean, it, like I said, it really makes you wonder, you know, the type of character he has and all the things that's probably been done that we have no idea of, you know? Like, I do believe, you know how I feel about Jaguar, you know? But but in the same breath, I know some stories do hold some weight. And when I think of an artist that I can say kind of was able to escape with not having like this negative outlook, J. Cole.
Yeah,
About
he
you
got out pretty clean.
don't hear about any bad blood with Jay-Z and J. Cole. And you know, J. Cole, he is content with just being himself. He don't have to have all the glitz and glam.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would say Jay-Z is the worst person to go in business with, because who's gonna come on out on top every time? Jay-Z. Every time he is going to come out on top.
And this is not us speaking hatred towards Jay or anything, but this is us just from an observation perspective, seeing what we see and asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, we just some normal average people, but in the same breath, like we're people with points
Especially
that, like,
with community.
yeah.
When it comes to
So
things that he could have did, I think things he could have did different. Like, yeah, and you know, you're gonna have people who could say, but look at it. He's been able to get more black artists on the Super Bowls. He's been able to do, yeah, but at what cost?
yeah,
You know, that's the part. At what cost did we have to do this? Now, I don't
mhm,
all the ins and outs with the whole Target thing. And I can say that the boycott on Target was, it did what it was supposed to do. I mean, it probably could be even better, right? But we were able to put a dent in their sales.
crazy. The stock crashed.
We
Like, I was like,
able to
ah,
put a dent in it. Target is not the Target of yesterday. You know, I mean, if you look at the parking lots, you know, recently Joey, we passed by and he said, this is not how Target would look. You would see cars from the front to the back. And now, you know,
yep,
you see the usuals. You know, you gonna have your soccer moms and your stay-at-home moms up in there, but not like it used to be. But my thing is, if he could use his voice and his power to better uplift the black community. And no, I'm not asking for handouts and saying, oh, you're supposed to give us this, give us that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for him to do something that benefits, that truly benefits, or stand with the people on something that is wrong, and not say, oh, we need to get over it. You know, let's turn the other cheek.
yeah. That doesn't. It doesn't make sense because of the fact that you doing that and trying to get people back into the fold, but you haven't fixed the problem that started this in the first place,
Mhm.
or gave a solution or a suggestion on how this can benefit everyone and not just one individual, which is yourself, then that's one thing. But for you to constantly do things and say, hey, let's just move along, that's not fixing the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The problem's still there.
Yep.
You just have to cover it up. It's like trying to put sprinkles on shit, and it don't work. You
Mm-mm.
know what I'm saying?
No, I agree
It's still
wholeheartedly. I mean, it's not. And unfortunately, you have some people who, I mean, they still support it. Like, and he, like I said, he has gotten to a point. So let me take that back. He's got to a place where he doesn't necessarily need his fan base that he used to have to still get the outcomes he wants. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, I mean, it's like probably falling on deaf doors at this point when it comes to some things. But yeah, I will say I'm disappointed at it, but I'm not surprised. And that's all I pretty much can say on it. It's like disappointed that he went that route, but I'm not surprised because I mean, and like even some choices that Beyonce has made are, like, man, why'd you do that? But it's like, should we be surprised? You
I think when it comes to Beyonce, I've said it once and I'll say it again. You can't be an active artist in the industry and then try to bring out other artists under you
yeah, but I mean, not
because it will take the time and the preparations that they need for it because you're still competing. And so pretty much you're bringing in another competition for you. You've seen what she's done with Haley and Chloe.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And Chloe is a phenomenal artist. She has great music, but she doesn't get the promotion that she needs from the person that signed her. Because, like you said, she has influence everywhere.
Dream
She
influence.
has influence everywhere. And so her simply promoting her album or just putting it out there brings the ears of not only her fan base, but also the ears of other people like, hold up, if Beyonce's talking about this person, we need to check this person out. Her music is valid, so this person got to be just as valid.
And Jay-Z loves to stab people in the back or cross people or be for self. Beyonce does collect female artists as trophies. And she puts them up on shelves. So you have to be, I feel like female artists have to be careful. The only one, like I've said before, that kind of was able to step out of that, not never really been compared to her. I don't really compare them. I guess you say her mutual is Rihanna because
Hmm.
Rihanna didn't have, I mean, and who's to say why it's different, but she wasn't someone,
Got her billions in another department, though.
huh?
Rihanna got her billions in a different area,
She
though.
did. She did something that Beyonce didn't do first. Beyonce is of course she's an entertainer through and through. Like that woman knows how to put on a show. She is about her craft. Is Rihanna realized that she couldn't be filthy rich or be, just content with just making music. You remember Rihanna was back in the day, she was putting an album out every year and touring and touring. And I remember I read an article where Beyonce told her, girl, you need to slow down. Now, I don't know if that was
Mhm.
nefarious why she said it, but I mean, she was. Brianna did, like, people keep talking about her and out, like, when she go put out an album, like, she was putting them back to back. She was not resting. But she's in a different
Mhm.
era of her life. She's in her mom life. I think that's the furthest thing from her mind. And she was smart by building her brand, and it's not just her music. Now, as you can see, Beyonce slowly, I mean, once she saw, I think the success that Rihanna had, she was able to start be like, all right, she has her own liquor. She has, of course, the hair products. And I mean, I don't think they still have that clothing line anymore. But she did venture out and create other avenues that doesn't just consist in her in music. But
Mhm.
we can't, turn the eye of, hey, she is married to Jay-Z. So they're going to do certain things and they're going to move in a unit together. But so I guess my final words on it is, like I said earlier, I'm disappointed that that's the route that he took, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And I think that it gives him comfort the way his mind is set up. That it's nothing personal. It's just business.
Mhm.
At least, but even though it's hitting people in a very personal way,
Yeah.
that's not how he. And he's at a position where his mindset is the only mindset that matters.
Mhm.
And because he's in the elite upper crust of people, and that's where he wanted to be. but is it worth it? Because you look around and the only thing you have is your wife, your kids, and no friends.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, everybody that you came up with are no longer around you. And I get it. Sometimes you have to let those people go in order to excel to the next level. But to the point where you scorch the earth pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
and so all you care about is me and mine. And like everybody's saying that like they needed you and you turned your back on. And there's multiple cases of this that people saying that. But in his mind, he doesn't see that because he sees it as what? It's nothing personal.
It's
It's
business.
just business.
I mean, you should be proud of me. I didn't go sideways and be like, you know, Jay-Z done got his hands dirty in some crazy. Well, he's friends with some interesting people. But I won't go
Yeah.
I won't go down road about, you know, Brockovich, whatever her name is, you know, the Hollywood witch. But
Mhm.
I won't go
With
down
the black face.
but yeah, Jay-Z is for Jay-Z. And I mean, you said it the best way, you know, it's nothing personal, it's just business for him. And that's how he operates, I think, with a lot of things. I mean, who's to say that his marriage to Beyonce is not personal, but it is a business transaction? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. That's pretty much all I got.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all once again for tuning in with us. We know we've been gone for a minute, but we back in a major way. I want to thank y'all for just hanging in with us. And we will see you on the next episode. Peace.